speak more then about the state visit by the Namibian president to Pretoria today, where he met with President Cyril Ramaphosa with international relations expert Charles Sinkala. Mr. Sinkala, very good evening to you. I'm grateful for your time. Geingob is the latest in a long queue, it appears, of either heads of state or secretaries of state or foreign affairs ministers who've been coming to South Africa to visit. Why is all of this happening now?
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Tambikila, and good evening to your viewers. Yes, South Africa has hosted quite a number of dignitaries, especially presidents and as well as foreign affairs minister. We remember that Russia as well visited from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. South Africa is very significant in terms of the geopolitics and the location, especially on the African continent. And I think this meeting also speaks to the involvement in the BRICS nation, as well as, what has been happening between the bilateral relationships with the two countries. I'm not with the idea to understand that probably part of the visiting agenda is because of Palapala FM or trade and investment, but this has been signaled as definitely United States dollars dumping on the African continent.
Well, it would be Palapala Farm and not Palapala FM. I'm sure everyone who works there will be relieved to hear that they're not the ones who are subject to investigation. Yes, and the issue of Palapala today didn't come up, didn't feature much. Was there a lost opportunity, I wonder? Was this the right platform, perhaps, for even the reporters to have put it forward as a question? Because Geingob is accused of having aided Ramaphosa or his associates in basically moving a suspect or suspects from Namibia illegally to South Africa for questioning to do with the robbery.
Yeah, well, Tembekile, this is why we say law sometimes applies to others it does not apply. We can see how selective law has been applied in the case of Palapala Farm and those who've been identified as suspects, who actually, some of them are Namibian citizens. And if you look at the other incident which we had this week, the incident of Thabo Bester, and how he was whisked very, very, very quickly from Tanzania, where he was discovered. And looking at issues such as this, and as well as we can extend ourselves and thoughts to issues of the Guptas, who South Africa has confirmed that they've been arrested, but those haven't come into the fourth. They are discussing those matters, but like I said, it's a selective prosecution of suspects, those whom they feel that they can prosecute and discuss. I don't think they're discussing those issues. The statement by Mr. Lamola, the correction and the justice minister, has simply indicated that there are some procedural problems that they did not follow in terms of corresponding between the two countries.
And the significance then of these visits, they happen, bilateral talks were told are held, the agreements on the economy, comments on the broader political situation in the region and more globally when you look at Russia, Ukraine, for instance. But do they really make a difference at that level?
Well, it's a very, it's very difficult when, South African government has issued a statement that the reason why the president of Namibia is visiting South Africa is to discuss bilateral talks. But bilateral talks, it's quite not very topical. It's a very, very complex mechanism where there's a lot of activities that are involved, and one will lose track on what is the actual topic in terms of the visit. Yes, geopolitics plays a very pivotal role in terms of discussing between the two countries, and as well as the security within the southern part of Africa. Those will top up on the discussions that they're discussing. But to the larger extent, it's dollar dumping that, BRICS has actually identified some certain countries to start now conversing with certain countries, to start now relooking at the relationships they have with the United States of America.
Can they afford at this stage to break all ties with the West? Is that even possible?
Well, it is very possible, but it is quite difficult. This journey has been started a long time ago by, a lot of world leaders. some of them were killed because they isolated themselves from others and they thought they would go solo. Who can forget Colonel Gaddafi? Who can forget many other leaders who has been gone? But, you know, this is significant that the talks continue in the African concept, but we can see that this also marks another time of another occasion that the United States founded, you know, in 2013, which is the binational commission of countries reporting to each other. But we shall wait and see what they would like to achieve from this visit.
Lastly, then, on Sudan, both heads of state have expressed alarm, they've expressed concern at the ongoing situation. 6 days of fighting now between the military as well as the rapid support forces. Is there a place here for them, either Namibia or South Africa, or together actually, to play more of an active role in trying to bring about an end to the conflict?
Yes, indeed, Tambekile. We must remember that not long ago, Namibia was part of the South African set. You know, it just regained her independence not long ago from South Africa. In fact, until maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, they were very dependent on the rand. Their Namibian dollar was squarely and dependent on the South African dollar, and they are looking at that type of set for them not to to go down with South Africa as an independent nation. And I think many other aspects has been recognized in terms of their long bilateral relations between the two countries. And we hope and pray that the visit of the President of Namibia, shall bring an end to a lot of issues that happen within the southern part of Africa, especially the migration issue.
International relations expert Sinkala, good to have your time. Thank you.